A few years ago, the idea of a luxury performance hybrid might have seemed like a contradiction of terms. But more and more automakers are going in that direction, and amongst all of them, Infiniti's Q50 hybrid is a standout. The vehicle was redesigned altogether from 2014 and has been carried forward to 2015 as a new model. And Infiniti did this with their 25th anniversary of the brand. The hybrid version is not to be confused with, say, for instance, a Camry hybrid versus a non-hybrid Camry. It's not about fuel economy per se. According to the words of Infiniti, it's about having your cake and eat it too. This is about four-cylinder fuel economy ranging between 28 and 31 depending on all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. And it's got V8 power with 360 horsepower. If you're a buyer and you go to an Infiniti dealer and you say, I just want the most technologically cool car there is, which one is it? If the salesman knows what he's doing, according to Infiniti, it'll be this one. So this is the all-wheel drive S, and the one we're looking at here, stickers for just shy of 55. This uses the exact same powertrain that was put into the 2011 Infiniti M35 hybrid, which once upon a time set a Guinness Book of World Records quickest quarter mile amongst hybrids. If Infiniti wants this car to go head-to-head against the likes of an Audi A4, a BMW 335i, you name it, anything in that echelon in the $40,000 to $60,000 price point of look at me, cool, kind of overpowered luxury fast cars. Unique amongst this car is a host of technologies, not least of which is this is the Infiniti's steering by wire, not to be confused with throttle by wire. It is steering by wire, meaning there is no physical connection, no mechanical connection between that steering wheel and the front wheels, which means it's like driving a video game except you're driving yourself and your family down the road. If something happens, like the power goes out, there is a mechanical connection that'll let you safely come to a stop and control the vehicle if you need to. So you don't have to worry about that. It took them 10 years to develop this thing. The vehicle also has its advanced radar-equipped cruise control, lane departure warning, host of bells and whistles through it and throughout. It's a very quick car with 360 horsepower compared to 328 next to the Q50 non-hybrid. It's kind of an interesting car, you know, in the sense that here you have a hybrid being used as a turbocharger, like a supercharger, but instead of forced induction, cramming more fuel in and making the emissions worse, it uses a 1.3 kilowatt-hour battery and a 67 horsepower electric motor to augment the double overhead cam 24 valve 3.5 liter V6 that comes with this car that itself pushes out 302 horsepower. So the bulk is by the internal combustion engine. It's got a helper motor elegantly blended in. It does not use a CVT like the Lexus GS 450h. It uses a 7-speed paddle shiftable automatic transmission. Really the only difference is, do you want to go hybrid or do you not want to go hybrid? Do you want to spend the extra $5,000 for it? Is it worth it? Personally, I like the styling of it. It's got design cues from the Essence concept. The front end is actually supposed to remind you of a human face. Price-wise, the vehicle starts just around $45,000 to $50,000. Options can push it up to $55,000 on the most fully equipped model. Lots of neat screens everywhere. A 7-inch and an 8-inch screen to this vehicle, and a digitized dash as well. You're seeing all this digital information in this car. Power, torque is good. You're definitely not in an EV. You are in a gas car. You can hear it, and the stepped gearing through the 7-speed transmission shifts nicely. If you like, you can put it into different drive modes too. This has an eco mode, which trims back and puts a detent into the accelerator so that you're not going to go past a point. It just encourages more frugal driving that, of course, if you nail it to the floor, it'll go. Then you have a sport mode, you have an eco mode, you even have a snow mode. This is an all-wheel drive car, so you've got snow traction in this version. There is a rear-wheel drive version as well. There's a number of different trim levels for this car. This is pretty well the flagship, the S with the all-wheel drive. If you do put it in sport mode, which drivers of this car may want to know about, you can just toggle over your shifter, and you've got these big oversized paddles that are there to be able to be found when you're going crazy, as apparently driving fast, steering wheel all over the place, going around corners. It's pretty neat, and it does work, and it's a whole lot nicer than a simulated gear step such as you'd find in the Lexus GS 450h. And we've also driven the BMW Active Hybrid 3. Of the three vehicles, this is my favorite. I do like this car a whole lot better, styling-wise, driving experience-wise, power-wise, fuel economy-wise. You know, compared to what you're getting with between the hybrid and the non-hybrid, the Lexus and the Infiniti both give you a nice little increase in fuel economy. The BMW really, frankly, makes next to no sense compared to this one. This vehicle has all the little bells and whistles to keep you safe. It is rated by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety as a top safety pick. Plus, the little plus designation means it's the highest standard that the IIHS rates, and that's because of the electronic controls such as lane keeping, braking assist. It's a very, very user-friendly, comfortable car. Great sight lines. The A pillars and the B pillars are narrow. You've got good visibility with the vehicle. The suspension, which is settable, is very dynamic. It's good bump attenuation, good control, good balance. For a family sedan, this is a whole bunch of fun. The power is a lot, and if you give it a foot full of throttle, it will drink that fuel. However, if you're just driving it along normally, the vehicle does get 30% better fuel economy on paper than a comparable non-hybrid Q50. This vehicle in real world, we've been seeing about 26 to 28 miles per gallon just driving normally in either standard or eco mode. Some of the high-end luxury performance hybrids and luxury hybrids out there don't sell in very high volume next to non-hybrid stablemates. The Q50 hybrid is not one of them. It actually sells relatively well, and I think there's probably a reason for that. The vehicle does make sense. It gives you better miles per gallon, more power, some neat technologies, and given the demographic that it's catering to, the price premium isn't that crazy. Is it a qualified decision? Absolutely, that goes without saying, but it's a neat car. I can see why it's doing well, and bottom line is, it is a lot of fun to drive.